moment, and you referred to it earlier on today, when Adi is reflecting on the meaning of the enormity of these crimes, and when you commit a crime, you build a fiction around it, and then you must stick to that fiction. He struck me, as I'm sure he struck many viewers of the film, as an unusually insightful, kind of thoughtful person about what he was involved in. He was someone who often insisted on, the fact that there was so much fiction around the kind of defense of people like himself, the people who had led these paramilitary squads. But he also said, well, look, do we go back to Cain and Abel? Do we go back to the fact that the Americans killed the American Indians? It struck me as really interesting because it struck me as actually eerily sound as a characterization for how history is made, how legitimacy is created. Tell me a bit about him and his perspective and how widespread.
Well, I agree with you. I think that it's eerily sound. I think what's chilling about the scene there's one scene where he says that war crimes are defined by the winners, and I'm a winner. So don't tell me I'm a war criminal. I get to define what a war crime is here. And I think it's a frightening moment because we recognize that, of course, it's true. And when viewers coming out of the film say, what can the West do about this? One of the first things I remind them if I'm talking after the film is to say we have to remember that the genocide, the military dictatorship which followed, the rule of present-day impunity for gangsters and thugs and the use of them by corporations and by the government, this is the West's vision for Indonesia and for many places like Indonesia. And in that sense, we shouldn't cross our fingers and hope that the Security Council and the UN will set up an international tribunal, a special tribunal to address these crimes, because they never set up international tribunals to address crimes that have been in part perpetrated by Security Council members. Never. The Special Tribunal for Yugoslavia, the Special Tribunal for Cambodia, the Special Tribunal for Rwanda, these have gone through because the Security Council members didn't have interests. We're not perpetrators of those crimes. But here we have a crime which was perpetrated at least by two permanent members of the Security Council, the United States and England, the United Kingdom. And so, of course, nothing will be done. And so there's a sense that Adi is speaking about, not just in general terms about how victors' histories are written and imposed, but he's also speaking to his own case. And in fact, at some point he says, look, I say to him, what if you were brought to The Hague? And he says, come on, afterwards. You know I'll never be taken to The Hague, because you know The Hague has no interest in pursuing this case. Adi, I think,